Hello, everyone. Welcome to Nadlan. We are having an entrepreneur every day doing real estate in the US. And today we have another post, number 2, from Dror Dorinbaum about the real estate world of puzzles. So let's get to it right now. All right, guys. So let's get into the post. Puzzles. When I was a kid, I really liked to hate puzzles. I did not understand the concept and really liked to complain about it. I did not understand and do not understand to this day who is the genius who came up and says, "We cut it." I'm sure there are a lot of benefits to assembling puzzles for a lot of type of people. The main problem in my eyes at least was, what achievement can I attribute to myself when I finish assembling this puzzle? Did I draw the painting? No. It's someone else apparently, also unrelated to the one who cut the painting. Can I assemble a new and unique painting from these parts? No. There's only one way. Take the time and at the end you will get to it. Due to the fact that I will put the puzzle together in a shorter time, will I gain any recognition? No, because there's no one to put it together parallel to me right now for measurement. The first and last puzzle I assembled, the drawing was great. When I finished, I think it was my mother who said, "Congratulations, now put everything back in the box and start over." She may have had to frame it for a 5 years old who just finished with brain strength fracture a 1,000 piece puzzle and not collapse in a second any trace of the final product. But that's a discussion for a psychologist and not for this forum. What I want to say, if I want to be successful in what I do, I need to differentiate, give added value to my partners along the way, to my clients, to myself, to create value in something that was previously worthless. So do not put together a puzzle. Go draw a drawing. Then you can call yourself an entrepreneur. Jumping from the year 2008, me and most of my friends working in rental jobs to bring the 5,000 new Israeli shekels home, I decided we could upgrade the quality of life of all of us without spending more money, and we rented a cool big villa. I figured for all of us that if everyone lived in a 2-room apartment or even a room in the central area where we all lived, we would pay a lot more. And so the first partnership was formed with 3 of my closest friends and a friend who would later become my future wife, of course, Liron, in a 6-room ground floor villa in a secluded seat in the center. In light of the success in the venture, I was probably inspired and decided to come up with the next thing. Most of my friends were single, and most of them rightly lamented about the tough dating world. Around 2009, I came up with the idea of a crazy dating app, surprisingly almost completely similar to Tinder, released in 2012, 3 years later. The guys flew for it. I built a prototype application for the iPhone for a company, and without being confused, I made the first phone call for the largest Jewish dating company in the world. They, of course, did not understand what I wanted because, in my innocence, I did not agree at all to reveal the purpose of the meeting. A month of phone calls of day to day to the CEO's secretary, and at the end, I silenced them, and the long awaited meeting was scheduled. Not before I sent them an NDA for confidentiality document that I explicitly asked to sign the CEO. Laughing out loud, what an innocence out of me. I arrive at the meeting, enter a huge and insanely decorated office. The CEO signals me to sit down, opens the laptop, asks where to connect, and I start the presentation. For half a year, I have been working on this presentation, 10,000 phones and quite a bit of money that I put on the prototype of the app. And here it comes, the money time. The first page of the presentation opens with a projector on the table. My heart is on 200, and I open with the words, a new digital age in the dating world begins here. I did not manage to catch my breath. The CEO stops me and asks to close the presentation. I ask him, what happened? And then he says to me, listen, you have ostrich daughter eggs, sign me on a confidentiality document without revealing your intentions. Exhaust my secretary and come here with a presentation for the app we have been working on for 3 years. Take off your hat, you are an entrepreneur, but this is not your venture. My heart was crushed. And with a polite smile, I said thank you for the time and got out of there to the bus stop that would bring me home. This story, like several others, are the ones that build the warrior I am today. And the truth has thrown at me the fear we have as entrepreneurs in every field to get no, and pushed me 100 times forward, not because I'm stubborn or superhero, but because when you get no, or that you actually break your heart, you develop an elephant skin. You become purposeful. You expect the worst and from there start running forward because what can already happen, Max will tell me no. So, maximum, they will tell me no. So, what happens to this app? Nothing. I put the parts back in the box and started over. In the next episode, teaser, then the seller ordered a police car. All right, so this was a very exciting post for the day. And let's get into some news from our forum. All right, guys, we are back and let's go over some updates from our forum. All right, so we have a member here asking pros and cons of a condo. Relates to net to profitability, demand, rent, future sales. All right, so let's see some answers. Rental demands depends on location. You should check what the HOA covers. The property owner is responsible for paying it. The HOA is really profitable, especially if it includes water and electricity, etc. This makes it more attractive to a tenant who knows in advance how much he will pay for renting water and electricity. The HOA usually also covers a building and roof, so it saves the property owner a headache. Nice. All right, let's see the next post. Hello, does anyone know of any sites that advertise land for sale in Brooklyn area? All right, so some member mentioned, talk to me privately. I will give you the ground that interests you. The main site for sale of commercial properties and land is LoopNet. I have a good friend who is a broker of a real estate company that deals with just that. Very nice. All right, let's go to the next one. We previously bought a 4-apartment building with each tenant having keys to his apartment, but we have a master key that fits the entire building. Now we bought another building. The question is, how do I change locks in the same way that I have on one key that fits everything, but tenant A cannot open tenant B's door? Very interesting. All right, so let's see some answers. Contact a locksmith and explain it to him. It will be pretty simple to perform. Any locksmith can do that. No special cylinder is needed. Each cylinder with pins can be disassembled and regulated in a way that will allow it. Very nice. All right, so we have room for one more. Hello, friends. What are the pros and cons of buying a duplex? All right, let's see some answers. Another downside, common meter clocks. So as a shared electricity water clock, sometimes you need to take on the monthly payment. So in a duplex, usually you shared the electric and the water, so you will need to split it between the tenants. Another one, hi Nadav, all of my assets are duplexes, triplexes, fourplexes, fourplexes, but I do flips, do not hold. The duplex is risk diversification because you are based on two tenants. On the other hand, a very large turnover of tenants, and in my experience, it is difficult to reach a stable situation where both units are rented out over time. One should take into account the maintenance that may be double because all home systems are double, livelihoods, hot water, etc. Water charges also apply to you because there is one watch and it is a bit of a headache and extra cost that needs to be taken into consideration. I really like the fact that the future buyer is an investor because if you have cash flow, you will have a buyer and that will be a high priced buyer. American investors are very fond of this product. By the way, there are a lot of Americans who buy a residential duplex and rent out the second unit so your buyer can also be a homeowner, especially in better areas. Good luck. All right, guys. So we had some interesting posts today, and we will see you guys tomorrow.